What's going on YouTube? Tyler James here, and we're back at it with our last mock draft of the season. I wanted to bring this to you guys a little bit earlier, but better late than never. Today is draft day, so happy draft day to everyone. It's a very exciting day in the NBA. Real quick, we're going to get to the video right now, but I just want to say stay tuned for after the video. I actually have a couple of announcements to make and some pretty cool things going on for tonight for draft night. And also, something I've never done in a mock draft before, I'm predicting a Blockbuster trade that will happen possibly tonight between two teams, one of the biggest draft day trades ever. So that will be in the video. Let's get into it. My top 10 picks for tonight's NBA mock draft. How often do we see the #1 pick in the NBA draft traded? The answer, not often at all. The Philadelphia 76ers are the lucky winners in this trade if you ask me. It is a win-win for both teams. I don't like it for Boston, as I mentioned in my live reaction to the trade. Actually, I did it the night before the trade happened. I don't like it for Boston as much as I like it for Philadelphia, but man, what a big three they have set up for the future of Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid. I think Fultz is a perfect fit because he can play the 1 or the 2. Simmons can handle the ball, and so can Fultz. Simmons isn't a scorer. Fultz is perfect fit for Philadelphia, and Sixers fans, stay tuned for after the video. I got a treat for you. One of the unexpected trades that's happened so far is the Los Angeles Lakers trading away D'Angelo Russell for Brook Lopez and some other players and picks involved. A very surprising trade because the Lakers, I thought, could play D'Angelo Russell because he's more of a scoring guard, and Lonzo Ball on the same team. But I think ever since text messages with Nick Young, his days were numbered in Los Angeles, and the Nets could be getting the best player in that draft, even though I like the fit for Brook Lopez. But what this really does is open up what we've been saying for a long time. Lonzo Ball is going to be a Los Angeles Laker. Yes, I'm still heartbroken about the Celtics not getting Markelle Fultz, but as an NBA fan, I love him in Philly. And if the Celtics keep their pick, Jason Tatum is the guy. Josh Jackson never even ended up working out for them. There have been some rumors they really like Jonathan Isaac, but I think for that #3 pick, it's way too high for him. It's way too big of a risk. Celtics could use another scorer, and Jason Tatum, as anyone who's listened to my mock draft since February, I'm a big fan of him. He's my second favorite player in this draft besides Markelle Fultz, and I think he's going to be one of the better scorers from this draft. I love the fit in Boston if they keep the pick. As I mentioned, I'm predicting a Blockbuster trade in an alternate world scenario. We're going to continue the mock draft after this, but Celtics could trade the #3 pick as well as some other players and other picks to the Knicks for Kristaps Porzingis. I can't believe the Knicks would consider trading this guy. Phil Jackson does not know what he's doing, but the Celtics will take advantage of that if they will let him. Rumors are the Knicks love Josh Jackson. That would be the guy they target if they move up into the top 3. It's a very likely scenario, so we'll have to wait and see for draft night. But can you imagine a lineup of Gordon Hayward, Isaiah Thomas, and Porzingis if they sign Hayward? That would definitely put them in the running to compete with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the East. Okay, back to the real world draft scenarios if there are no trades. At #4 for the Phoenix Suns, I do like Josh Jackson here for them. Overall, I'm not very sure about him just because of the off-the-court issues that I've heard. I've seen some interviews, not 100% sold on this kid, but he has the talent to be one of the better players in the draft and would fit nicely beside Devin Booker and the young core they already have in Phoenix. So I think it's a great pick for them, considering he could be the best player in the draft. At #5, we got the Sacramento Kings. They also, of course, have the #10 pick, and they could really be the big winners here in today's draft, depending on who they select. I really like De'Aaron Fox for them, and rumors are they are in love with the kid, praying he drops to #5, which in a lot of likely scenarios he will. So he's a great pick for them. I think they should go point guard, small forward, or point guard, big guy. We'll cover that pick next. But if you're the Kings here, you could be getting a top 3 pick at #5. #6 for the Orlando Magic and #7 for the Timberwolves. That's where my first big split came up. I think each team could go one of 2 different directions. For Orlando, I truly believe they could go Jonathan Isaac because he's rising on draft boards. He could go as high as a top 5 possibly, but I think they should go Malik Monk. He projects to be the better player in my opinion, a pure scorer, especially where the NBA is headed. Isaac would not be a terrible pick here, but give me the volume scorer in the NBA all day. The Timberwolves will be an interesting pick only because it could go a lot of different directions depending on who's picked before them. Like I said, I could really see them going Jonathan Isaac here if he's available, of course, but there's a chance he won't be, so they really need to go over all their options. Latest rumors, they like Lauri Markkanen. I'm not sure about that fit. I know he's a stretch big and he could fit well with Cat and the other players on that roster, but if I'm them and Jonathan Isaac is available, I've said in my past mock drafts, he's a perfect fit because he brings those intangibles, that defense, the gritty type of player who can do the little things, but also has the high upside to be a really great player. Every year in the NBA draft, there's always at least one player, it seems, that drops or falls much later in the draft than he was projected. Dennis Smith Jr. could be that guy. As he's worked out for teams, many people are seeing, what he was projected earlier in the year as a top 3 pick. They're seeing that skill. His name's been thrown around in many different places. He could go as high as the top 5, but the most likely scenario would be around 6 to 10. I like him in New York because I think he's a difference maker and could be that elite player, franchise player they can build around. As the draft gets closer, the Dallas Mavericks have been linked to Frank Ntilikina, the foreign point guard, more and more if you read the reports. He's been the pick for me for Dallas for a while. I thought they'd go either him or Dennis Smith Jr. A third option might be Lauri Markkanen. I think if you're Dallas, you narrow it down to those 3 players. Part of it will be who's available and who's been taken, but as I mentioned before, Dallas really does have a great international prospect scouting team. They've done their homework on this kid, so I can see them maybe having a leg up on scouting that many people don't on Ntilikina, so that could make him the pick here at 9. The 10th and final pick for the NBA mock draft to end this season. It's been a great one. I had the Kings picking Lauri Markkanen, the stretch big man out of Arizona. The number 10 pick is tough because a lot will depend on who goes before him. I'm sure they have a list of 5 or so players that they really could pick here. Possibly another big man like Zach Collins from Gonzaga. I could see him going here. They also could address their small forward need. Rudy Gay is going to leave. He will not be with the Kings next year, so that could definitely be an option for them. Truthfully, they could use a lot of different things, so it really will depend on who's picked where. But the Sacramento Kings, this is a huge night for them. They have 2 picks. If they're not going to trade them, they really need to make the right picks here to put that franchise in the right direction. That's it, my mock draft 4.0, the final mock draft of the season. Wanted to thank you guys, especially for my last video of the mock draft 3.0. We had a lot of views, a lot of comments, and a lot of interaction. I'm going to keep doing videos just because of that. I really do appreciate it. Final big announcements tonight. I will be live tweeting from my account at Tyler James NBA, talking rumors, talking trades, talking NBA draft picks. I also might do a live chat for everyone, so check the links on there. I'll post them if I do. Last but not least, I'm going to be selling some draft day apparel, and I may be biased, but I think it's some of the coolest shirts for the NBA online. rmcapparel.com, as you can see on the screen. Some really great stuff. We have a Lonzo shirt, we have a Markel. One of the better ones was the Fultz, Simmons, and Embiid Trust the Process shirt, doing really well. A lot of people like that. So you can get all those and more on the rmcapparel.com. I will talk to you guys tonight for the NBA draft. Can't wait. Thank you for watching. And as always, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys next video.